All right, traders. Finally, version 4 for MT4 is here. So I want to do a small review and explanation about the things that change. Maybe you don't even know this EA. Let's move myself to this side. So as usual, you just drag and drop the EA on and make sure you allow. Now, the new interface begins with the magic number. Then we have the open position if there's no position. That means, let me just show you. Let's say, let's turn this off for a second. Let's say we don't have any position. And then we drop this EA, and this means that when no position is present, the EA will open one. So as you can see, the EA now starts work. And then the first position he opens, he will take the calculation. He calculates the candle sizes between the bearish and bullish candles. As you can see, now with the version 4, you get this green line. Maybe in other color of chart, it will be another color, but for me it's green. We can change this to maybe uh, maybe using this one. It's still green. So let me just go back to my preferred view. Sorry for that. Bullish candle, bear candle red. That's how I like to have my charts. That makes more sense in my eye. Let's go back here. So as we said, magic number, if no positions, the maximum of position that we allow this EA to open. It could be 3, it could be 300. It can handle everything. Let's say we'll do 30 now. And then we have, of course, we can do whatever we allowed to do. That means that if we can do 0.01, it's also can do it. Just go here. It depends on your broker and the system, whatever the lowest position you can do. And then the cooldown between trades, it could be anything. I use 10, sometimes 1 second, but something in between. Now the new section of the dynamic. So do you want to use your own static inputs, or you want the AI to calculate between the strength of the bullish and bearish candles? Maybe yeah, you prefer that and not to. If you remember, the old way was to go back and then calculate how many points. For example, now we have 47,000. Maybe we want to do 30 points. That means 10,000, of course, but so you can do here 10,000, and here you would do something like 3,000 maybe, and 2,000. That's for the manual, and then you switch this one to false, and then you're on manual mode. But let's say you're on the AI mode, you want it to calculate the time frame of the dark, basically from the biggest candle. So maybe it's this biggest candle, it's 800. Anyway, it's gonna do its own calculation and give us this line. This line means the next position when it falls down. This will represent the next position that the EA will open. So this one controls when the trailing will start. We will see it in a second in a backtesting mode. It's easier to fiddle with this, but 1 minute you can do one, and then it's gonna be almost like the size of the biggest candle or even more in trailing. Of course, you can do 6 if you want really big swings. And then the trailing, as you can see, the trailing already start. And as you can remember, or now you know, that every time the EA opens a trailing, it opens immediately the next positions. So you get always this action when it shoots out like breakouts, you get thousands of safe positions because every position has the backup of the trailing. Every position that opens with the DCA doesn't have, of course, the secure trailing loss, but when it shoots back up, the EO will close it, and then we go back to the normal positioning. Of course, when a position is secured, the EA allow itself to open more and more positions. So it doesn't stop in this three position that we said. We said actually that we want to change, but we didn't click OK. So I can show you that even with one position, the EA can go to 100 positions if each and every one of them is secured. And then when it falls down, we're back to one risky position. That's why I don't lose that much, or I don't risk that much, because it's always in a safe mode. So let's do like 5, which is normal setting. And then where were we? So we have this. That's the trailing sensitivity factor. As you can see, it was on the 0 point something that was before, but you can do whatever you want. You can backtest it and check, or demo account it and then see what it's actually doing. Then we have the new DCA. This is the DCA magnetizer. Uh, it's hard to see now, but this will, for example, go to this support level. If the EA calculated here, it will jump around 15% of the position of the points. It can fiddle around and find the best location to do the DCA. So you earn a bit more good position decision opening. So it's pretty good to have it on, I would say. Otherwise, if it's in middle of the air or doesn't have any info to go to, it will just use the normal, which is now the spacing. So the spacing we will now see. On 4, it will calculate, of course, and then let's see where it calculated. That's okay. So as you can see, it was here, but too far away. So let's say you think, okay, this is really far away. Now you can control it. Before it was hard to see where it's gonna be. So you can see this. So down the road, when on manual mode, of course, this is the DCA. Let's have a look on this one. If we go to false, and we'll see that the green line is now here. It's really easy now to understand. If you do 4,000, you will see where it goes. Amazing. I think this what was missing in the old models, because people didn't like to calculate it from the last position. So it's this one. And you can see the 4,000. So if it falls from the last position, it will take the 4,000. If we wanted to go here, it would be, let's just check, it would be 3,000. So for example, if you're on manual mode, you want, okay, 3,000, it's good for me. And then maybe, yeah, maybe a half on this one will be good. And then something like this, and then it changes the manual. Again, the DCA works, but that's why it's so point on. If we choose, let's say 300, 3,200, maybe it will move, let's say, or it will stay on the DCA line. Needs one tick again. That's, as you can see, it's still using the lowest point. So DCA, let's go to the DCA magnetizer. So that's the DCA magnetizer. If we do it on false, it will release it to be 3,200. As you can see, the movement is really small, but and this one is on the point. Let's do this again, maybe, as you want to understand the DCA magnetizer. Let's do it on off. Let's do it. So maybe it's too close for this one. Yeah. So this one is in the range. So it's pretty subtle, but as you can see, it takes so it's not that subtle, because if you use bigger size position, that would lead to a loss of 500 points. So could be major sometimes. So let's have a look. Let's continue. So where were we? So the trailing, of course, the fallback, it doesn't do automatically. It just if it's on true, it will wait this amount of seconds, and then it starts to go back 1% per second. Or you want to do more, 10%, or whatever you want. The minimum spacing between points, you do have it embedded in the code, but this one, it's on top if you really want to do spacing and doesn't want overlapping positions. You can use this one. And now, so the stop loss. People refer to the trailing loss as a stop loss, but this is a real stop loss in loss. So if you enable it, I have a new mechanism that a losing position will have a delay time trigger. So it means, let's say we allow this position, we have a good position management, and then we say, okay, if it holds for so 10 hours will be 10 hours, double the thing, 60 seconds, double 60 minutes, 60 seconds, 36,000. So you just go here and say, yes, I want to 6,000. And you have to have it on true. So every position that it's more than 6,000 points will have this automatic closure. So after the amount of hours now that we calculated, this will stop the EA until he closes new position and then reset itself. And the maximum allowed, you can do, okay, I allow you to have a drawdown of 1%, and then please stop opening position. That means that we can do here 50,000 position, and it doesn't means that it's gonna open all of them. Once it goes in drawdown, it will just stop. But every time the account grows, it will just have more room to open more positions and to get to this minimum amount. And close all position and drawdown. You must know that once this happens, you have to reset the EA manually, because it will stop completely. It means that when you enter this 1% drawdown, it will black. Close all positions that are open and then just stop working. Yeah, until you reset it. Maybe change the magic number and let it relieve, or just pull it out, put it back again, and then it will work. And now, if the EA will cross more than 3 sell positions in a minute, it will open buy position. That means that when it sees a really sharp drop and you're using both bull and bear, my scalper, they will intervene and it will trigger a buy position. Why? Because it's a huge drop and yeah, there's gonna be a pullback and the bull scalper will benefit from this pullback, which means 3 is a it's a good number, or sometimes more. You have to cross 5, and then it's a really big pullback. And of course, at the same time, the bear is profiting because it's opening positions, and of course, it's probably taking profit. And then this mechanism will trigger the pullback. Now we have the new high filter. When the EA sees that this is the first time, for example, in 6 hours that we're in this new high, it's usually means that we're gonna have a pullback. And that's why I made this mechanism not to open positions at the newest high in the last 6 hours. So as you can see, this one is a 1 minute bar. Let's go to 1 hour, for example. Okay, let's go to 1 hour. And you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's the first new high, all of them, basically, in the last 6 hours, which makes it a bit risky, of course. And then it means that the EA normally with this on, let's go. New high filter, where are you? New high filter. It means that all of those wouldn't work and will trigger their own mechanism to say, hey, we're in a brand new area and it's gonna retest it. So that's why it's gonna be a bit riskier to use it. Maybe you leave it on and say, hey, maybe in the last 24 hours, just to have this maybe side movement available. Otherwise, it's just gonna say that, okay, when it's go back, for example, here, it's gonna retest anyway the lows. It's gonna eventually come here and then maybe break out again, up again, but we don't know. But it's sometimes risky to have the new frontier just to scalp it. So now we have the martingale. This one means that we're gonna have increment positions on the way up. So every time a new trailing loss is appearing, we'll have 0.2, 0.3. And this one means when we DCA downwards, we're gonna have 0.10, 0.2, 0.3, and then on the way up, we have the new reset from the incremental lots. So I would say it's really a dangerous tool to use the martingale, but it's on you. I leave it at the moment. I leave it on false, so I don't use it. We just use a lot more position taking, more more safe and smallest amount of positions. It's safer, I would say. Otherwise, you get stuck with bigger lot size positions. But I did do this and it reset itself only when all positions are closed. So at the moment it's a bit dangerous. I'm gonna improve this, and I'm trying to figure out how to do what I do in the Mt5 on the Mt4, which is at the moment a bit tricky to do. But I'm looking for 2 or 3 other workarounds. I will get to it. And then I would just announce that the martingale is now safe to use on the MT4. Otherwise, it's a bit risky. Let's have a look, even if it's or let's do the full aggressive mode. Then we will see now how it's going to continuously grow and grow and grow until, of course, it's gonna make maybe profit, but usually it kills the account. And then on the last one, we have the display settings. Of course, if we want to see the positions, if you want to see the profits, and if you want to change colors of the profit line of the next positions line, maybe you want to use yellow, which is amazing. I don't know who's using yellow, but there you go. You have it. I think the green is the best one. You can see it on a lot of kind of chart colors. I don't know which chart colors you like, but it's up to you. You can change it. It's a nice tool to have. And let's do the backtesting. So what it's important to know about the backtesting, because of the AI, you have to have the period. So the information on the chart matching at least, or we can use 5 minutes, but in the expert, you can use the time frame, you can use something smaller, but you can use the same, but not smaller. So if I do now on the backtest, I do 1 minute because the backtest is skipping information. The 1 minute AI wouldn't work. So you have to be aware of that. So when testing the period, it must match or at least have more information that what we need. So, example, it can be 5 minutes candles, but we can do 1 hour, which is perfectly fine. But we cannot do less. So it's really hard to find 1 minute backtesting information, but maybe you can do it. And I'm using forex.com, which doesn't have 1 minute, at least as far as I found. Let's try to do not that big. If, maybe it does have. Let's try. Yeah, so it does. Seems to have no data. So that's why we have to start from 5 minutes, and then we can do 5 minutes. And then, of course, maybe lower the sensitivity to 1. And let's have a look. So, of course, we have all of this. And the EA will automatically can do the adjustment if to the lowest one. There we go. So as we can see, every time the EA touches the trailing or it touches the DCA line, it opens a new position. As of course you can see let's do some. That's how it operates. So as you can see, the martingale is on, and it goes more and more with the size of the positions. So now let's have a look on without the martingale. which will bring us the normal one-to-one position management, 0.01, 0.01. Everything is the same position, the real one. Because if we do here, sensitivity factor of 0.1, for example, 5, we'll have it really scalping. So let's have a look on the real one. Even if we're on 5 minutes, we will see it working.